Welcome to the Catholic Life Coach podcast, where I help ambitious Catholic women overcome fear and self-doubt so that they can boldly step into the dreams God placed in their hearts, live authentically, and grow a business rooted in their faith. I'm your host, Carla Fitz. I am the Catholic Life Coach, mom, entrepreneur, and your companion on this journey of holy ambition. Each week, we dive deep into faith, mindset, business, and identity so that you can live aligned, lead confidently, and create the impact God designed you for without guilt or hustle. If you are ready to stop holding back and start showing up as the woman God created you to be, you are in the right place. Welcome, and let's get started. Hello, my loves, and welcome to this new episode. Today, I have an incredible woman coming with me to have a conversation about transformation and share a little bit about her experience working with me as her coach for the past couple of years. It has been a joy getting to know her, and I am so excited to dive into this with her and have you all hear her beautiful voice and insights. All right, I want to introduce you to my beautiful client, Talina. Talina, please introduce yourself, say hi, share a little bit about you.
Hi, thank you, Carla. Talina Padilla. I'm a jack of all trades. I do fundraising, I do watercolor, and just recently I've been starting with this life coach, Catholic life coaching. Thanks to Carla.
It has been such a joy working with you, Talina. Oh my goodness. What a journey God took us into.
It was a journey.
Truly. Like, I remember just the beginning when we first met, you came on the podcast about 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago. And I would have never imagined that you would become a client a few months later. But yeah, I just would love for you to share with the community kind of where you were at when you first met me. Let's start there, and then we'll go from there.
So it was, let's see, I think, 224, maybe 223. I'm not sure, but it was, at the late end of the
2024.
pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2024.
So I was already knee deep into watercolor. I started painting watercolor, learning watercolor when the pandemic started. And so I was, I already had like this big community. And I was hoping to be able to like make it bigger, like push it forward. I wanted to grow my online business, and I wanted somebody, to help me along the way. But I was already sure that I didn't want somebody that was not aligned, like with what God wanted, because I have a sister who's a psychiatrist and another sister who's a psychologist, and so it's, it was fairly normal for me to go on and off. But I always found myself like filtering because I felt that some things were not aligned with God. Mm-hmm. And so when I decided, like when I found Carla on Instagram, I was searching for a Catholic life coach. Like I want somebody who's aligned, who will help me like walk along this journey with God. And I got a lot more than I bargained for. I would have never thought. I just wanted to sell an online course of watercolor. That was all I was asking for.
Yeah.
And then it became this like saga, 2-year saga.
What was it that God took you through, right? Because I know you're saying I went in because I wanted to sell watercolor, but share a little bit about what happened. What was the journey?
Yeah. Okay. So when we first started the coaching and, like the project was like do an online course, that was my idea. I was, going to start that. Although I have to say, like I was looking at other like business coaches and stuff. And I remember like when I spoke with you, like I had a feeling like because of the way we spoke, because I felt that I don't know how I felt it or what I felt exactly, but I felt that it had to be through you. Like I felt that God was thinking of you for me to heal something that I knew something needed healing. I just didn't know what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I felt that it was with you that I was going to go through this first. Like it was this first step that I had to take. And I mean, I see it retrospectively, but at that moment, it was just like intuition, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we started, and I didn't know what I was expecting. It was my first time like with a coach. Um, but then you started like teaching me all these tools, and I think that the first thing that happened was the veil fell, like in so many ways. I'm a bit melancholic temperament. And so I was usually, more towards the negative side. But anyway, so I always thought that, the circumstances were loaded in some ways, like they were either good or bad, and they therefore impacted me. Like I felt like a victim,
Yeah.
to say it plainly. Like I thought my circumstances were to blame or other people were to blame, and even God was to blame. Like I was blaming everybody for life not meeting my expectations in some ways. And so like as we dove into conversation and like gave me like all these tools, patiently, it took a while. um, the veil started to fall. So I started realizing how much it was me. Like it was my interpretation of the circumstances. It was how I was seeing things and how I was not willing to take responsibility and accountability for how I lived and thought and felt. Because I always thought that, like my feelings, for example, I always thought I was right. for starters, like I thought that what I thought that was it, that was reality. And I never saw how biased, like, and how control I had over those thoughts. And of course my feelings, like I always like trusted my feelings in some ways as directives, not as information.
Yes, so good.
Um,
So good. I love what you just said. Your feelings are just information that we need to look into, and your beliefs are truly optional. It's an option. It's not fact. Your thoughts are not fact. What you believe is not fact, and your circumstances are completely neutral.
yeah.
Tell me what happened within you when you started noticing what you call the veil, right? Share a little bit, like what do you call the veil?
Well, the veil, I guess it's sort of, I see it also like as a lens. Like I felt that I had like these black glasses on, you know, and I guess I didn't realize that I could change them or even, take them off if possible. Still learning, but I feel that that's what I mean by the veil. Like I thought that how I saw things, was the only way to see things. Like I didn't realize I had an option in how I could see things. And I didn't think circumstances were neutral.
Yeah.
And I felt that my beliefs were, as you said, facts. Like I didn't realize that I had a choice on what I believed.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and it took a few sessions because even as I started to finally grasp the concept of I have an option. I can decide how to look at something. Like I could decide to look at something from a different perspective. The processing, like so, and I felt like you were so good to me in the sense that you were able to hold like that patient and loving space for me. Because as I said, like I'm not an easy cookie. So I'm a hard cookie. So you were very patient, and how you walked me through it and just waited for me to process things, waited patiently for me to process things, and then just let me through like the new beliefs. Like like you held my hand as I was walking towards new beliefs, and also like to process my emotions, to be honest. Like I had no idea how that even worked. And I remember making a few mistakes and just making things worse than how they were, just getting all all stressed out more. And even that, you taught me how to process these emotions.
Yeah.
And so, and it also gave me a new perspective of how patient God can be, because I felt that through you, he was just giving me time. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he
Yeah.
was letting me, process this, and he was just waiting patiently, on the other
Mm-hmm.
side. And so there were like tons of beliefs, like a lot of things that I felt, like, for example, a lot of walls that I had, not only with the people around me or my dreams or anything, like even with God. And so you kind of worked patiently with me, like bringing down those walls, and also made me realize, like, it was me. It was me building up those walls, and it was, and those walls were not made of anything but my thoughts, in so many
Yeah.
ways.
Mm-hmm.
So how easily they would, they could come down if I just wanted it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I think this is definitely, life coaching is it's a process, and it's a process that looks completely different for each one of my clients. And that process of being, I love what you said, holding loving space for you. And because to me, it's like, how else would God do it? Right? Like, God already loves you. You're already fully, beautifully made and worthy of everything. But the biggest change happens when you take your own time and your own path to transform it from the inside out, right? I always remember being in training and my coach saying, you can absolutely grab someone and say, you have a pin on your thigh. Do you see it? Take it off. Or you can simply guide them and say, hey, do you see the pin on your side? That's what's really causing pain. But there's nothing more powerful than giving your clients the authority back to pull that pin out themselves when they're ready. That's what creates lasting change. It's not me forcing it on you or in any way, shape, or form. Because to me, it's like, I want you to grow. Of course, I want you to grow, right? And I want you to be happy and create your biggest dreams. And that's my job as a coach too, is to believe ahead of time, but for sure holding that space for you, because that's what makes it possible to last. Is not I'll fix it for you really quick and then you never learn how to do it yourself. Like, I really love that you learn how to notice it and say, oh wait, I have a choice here, right? That's awesome. Now, one of the things that I think is super inspiring from your story too is that as you started noticing, as you started processing, as you started getting to know yourself better, then we went from November until January and February, and God extended an invitation for you to learn even more. So share a little bit of what happened in that moment and what happened next.
Another adventure. So I remember, as we were doing the coaching, and I was focusing on, my watercolor thing and everything. And I love watercolor, I still teach it. But as I saw, like, how, I realized what had happened, like what you've done, and how I don't know how to explain it. Like, I realized that I was probably not the only person who was mistaken, as I was thinking, like seeing myself as a victim or feeling as powerless or hopeless as I felt. And I just saw, like, the world needs to know this. Like, the world needs to, take back their accountability, their responsibility, their power over their own lives. But, like the right way, because I feel that right now people have been told over and over again, like, follow your heart, or follow your feelings, or like, so wishy-washy. And the thing is, like, the feelings, you control your feelings too, and if you use them as directives rather than information, you get lost. You kind of stumble upon your own feelings, not realizing that you have bigger freedom than that. Like, I felt that when people say, follow your feelings or your heart or whatever, the way they say it, they literally mean, if you feel like something, do it. Like if you feel like a coffee, take it, that sort of thing. Like it's very like shallow in many ways. And I felt that this is what was truly meant when they said follow your heart. It meant fully knowing, fully loving, fully seeing, and being fully free. Because you're not free if you consider yourself a victim. You're not free if you're going, being directed by every whim. Because a lot of the whims, like a lot of the emotions that you feel, they're based on thoughts, and those thoughts are usually wounded.
Yeah.
Like they most of the times they come from a place of hurt or fear or distrust or whatever. So you're not really free, because you're making them on all these assumptions. And I feel like the coaching you provided it was an eye opener. Like it was like, no, like this is being free. This is what it means to be free. So I felt this huge calling, again, like another invitation from God to another, amazing, scary adventure. But I felt compelled. I felt like passionate about it. I felt people need to know.
So what was the invitation to Lina Padilla?
Well, it was random because even before you mentioned, I was thinking like, I would love to do this coaching. I would love to help other people, but I would Catholic life coach because I wanted God to be in the middle of it all. Like I didn't want to work outside God any longer. I was, thinking about it, but I wasn't sure if if you could certify me as a life coach or not. And I was feeling insecure about asking you or not. And then you mentioned like, oh, Carrie, she wants to be certified as a life coach. And I was like, oh, me too.
Yeah, it was a God moment for you and for me. It was just, I was not expecting that. It was just something I mentioned in our coaching. It's like, God sometimes, and I think I remember talking to you about acting in alignment, but it has to feel courageous because courage sounds like a beautiful feeling. Like, oh, courage, you have to be courageous. And honestly, being courageous is incredibly uncomfortable. And it's just doing something that you're being called to, but you're scared to do it. And I think the example I gave you that day was like, I was just asked by one of my clients to see if I would certify her as a coach. And I'm like, I mean, it wasn't an immediate yes. I had to sit and pray through it because I had to create a full curriculum for you guys and commit to training you guys well. And I was scared. I was like, oh my word, this is a courageous moment. And I was just sharing the story with you and you're like, I want to do that too. Share more. And it was a very much I said yes to God. And he was like, okay, she said yes, you guys, let's go. And then brought you into my life. And we created just such a beautifully intentionally small certification process that was it was an incredible experience for me as your coach to create it for you, to support you, to teach you, to train you, to give you feedback, to all the things that we went through. So we start the process of coaching, and then what happens? And not coaching, but certifying you as a coach, right?
I felt like it was like getting a master's, in many ways, because you knew a bit of the theory, but once you were doing the certification, I think it like opened, like it opened so much, a lot of the things, like a lot of the concepts. I feel it was like a double coaching for me, it was a way of like reliving everything, but even going like deep. So I felt like it was it was God kind of saying like, no, we need a rerun or something. We need to do this deeper so she can finally get it. They say that when you teach it, you learn it twice. And I feel that was yeah, that was, God helping me. He knew he needed, to go deeper with me because I was not getting it fully.
But you were
So
so
I told that.
committed to
He
the whole
said, yeah,
thing.
you need to do this several times so you can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very different, for sure. It's a very different program than being coached yourself. I mean, I went
Yeah.
through the process. It was a different certification, but for me, it was the exact same. And I told you guys at the beginning of the certification, this work is almost more about your healing
Yeah,
than it is about
absolutely.
your clients coaching, your
Yeah,
clients healing. Yes, you will
absolutely.
learn how to do it, but what happens within us when we are learning deeply how this stuff works, it's completely different journey, isn't it?
It is. It is absolutely. And it's so true what you're saying. I think like it got me like it's getting me to a point like I think it's like a road like or steps as so first it was the online watercolor and then it was the coaching and now like I'm getting a lot like God is taking me through I don't know like it's always a mystery where he takes me but right now he's like sort of like leading me towards like I don't know, like it's becoming like very existential in so many ways. Like because I was very like result based and I was
Mm-hmm.
all about like, I want X, Y, and Z and it's not happening. If results don't happen, then it's not worth it. But anyways, like this has taught me so much about the process and the reason behind the process. It just made me question such deep things, like the purpose of why we were made, to love and be loved. And then how everything we do, even if it's the watercolor class, everything is geared towards like our ability to love and be loved by
Mm-hmm.
God. How everything it's geared towards it. So everything that we do, it's either to heal or expand that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, for me, it was obvious like how this certification and that, well, the coaching, like I think that's why I'm becoming more and more passionate about it. It actually expands our capacity to love and be loved
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of opened my eyes like how everything we do like all the projects we have or missions or what or vocations or whatever it is like how everything is aligned to that and how important it is to say yes to those projects. God wanted me to say yes to that watercolor course because
Mm-hmm.
that would lead me to him,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
then you want to start this business, it would lead you to him. Like
Yeah.
everything leads you to him if you allow it,
Of course.
like
Of course.
if you exercise your free will, your true free will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so
So
good.
no, so it's becoming like I don't know where this road will end, but it's interesting.
It's so fun. It's such a fun journey because, and there's nothing like living an authentic life. There is no, the moment you stop fighting that desire to grow, that desire to expand, when you stop judging it, it just becomes an incredible journey that God takes you through that is 100% meant to bring you to him. It's expanding you in every capacity so that we can shine his light in the world, right? Like ultimately the goal is to love and to be loved. And it's an incredible inner healing that happens through this process. And I'm just so excited for you to step more and more into this. Um, yeah, it's just I've been the firsthand witness of your growth, of your inner change, and how you went from a woman that was scared to put herself out there, and now it's like you're having lives and classes and putting yourself out there and sharing your story and doing the thing. Like it's just mind blowing. Because it's not just you, it has been the healing that God took you through. And now you're learning that process of allowing it to exist and letting God do his thing. So tell me, what has been some of your biggest wins in the past couple of years that we've been together?
Well, I mean, it's just they're gonna sound like maybe a bit like there are a few levels. I feel like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of wins have been in different levels.
Yeah.
So like in a more like mundane level, it's kind of opened my eyes to bigger possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has empowered me so much, and I've been. and I've recognized, like I've been able to recognize not only how optional my limitations are, like
Hmm.
how much power I have over those limitations, and how I can overcome them. And then another one, I think this happens a lot when God calls you to entrepreneurship or to business or something. Like it's a calling to trust.
Hmm.
Like it's such a, and in so many ways, like I think businesses help you grow in capacity in so many ways. But for me, like the one I think God's been targeting on me has a lot to do with trust.
Hmm.
So I've become a lot more trusting in God, and I've come to realize like the actual goodness. This has been part of the growth, and it never stops amazing me how something as mundane as a business can heal things as deep as your heart, as your capacity to
Hmm.
love. Like it's been about trusting more and even believing in God's goodness. And I was hearing you recommended Bob Schultz, and I just haven't stopped listening to him
Yeah.
now. And one of the things that he says is a lot of the sins come from not fully trusting God.
Hmm. Yeah.
So our fears, our limitations, or whatever, they all come from not trusting in His goodness. And so this journey has become about believing in His goodness and trusting His goodness through business. Like I would have never equipped, like something so mundane with something so spiritual. God does those things. He
Yeah.
allows for whatever to bring us closer to Him. So for me, it's been, and the thing is, like I've always heard since I was a child, I had heard that you can sanctify yourself through your work, but I think I never understood how, until this.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
growing a business is truly a process of, and we have such an incredible example of Saint Sally. She was Saint Teresa's mother, who had an incredible business. They were wealthy, they were very successful, and she's an incredible example for us as Catholic women in entrepreneurship to trust him, to allow it, to not resist it, to not make it think that it's going to make us believe that we're better than, right? That's some of our biggest fears when we're growing in business, is that we're going to lose him, that we're going to lose our trust in him. And in reality, when you go into business, it's actually, it does the opposite. You start having to rely on him more, because when you rely on yourself, you run out of fuel very quickly. And so for me, and this has been my love for coaching women in entrepreneurship, has been that process of, we need to learn how to trust, to surrender, to believe ahead of time, and to allow in, because a lot of times we think, oh well, maybe it's not his will, but truly maybe it's not our will. Maybe it's not maybe it's us that are not allowing the goodness that he has already prepared for us, and it gets to be simple and much easier when we allow it in versus getting in the way. But it is, I call it, this is a vocation. When God calls you into business, it's one of your vocations. It's helping you in the process of getting ready for heaven. Is the work you're doing, is the ripple effect you're having in the world. Like this is one of your missions, and it's fabulous just seeing you step into
No,
this.
and I think like it's so important because obviously like going into business has the capacity either to bring you closer to God or away
Moving
from
away
God
from him.
because you're free. And the thing is like that's why I feel like it's so important to do it with somebody who's
Yeah.
going to help you through that, because I feel you can easily go astray. I
Yeah.
mean, it has the potential to either bring you closer or pull you apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that like going with you through this process helped me a lot because I was obviously not capable of doing it on my own. God allowed, like he said, you need help. Here's Carla, like he found a way so that I could walk along with him.
Yeah.
Like, so he would help me have this bring him closer rather than pull him further
Yeah.
away. Because the truth is, like, I was starting this business out of a wound. I was starting out of
Mm-hmm.
distrust and
Yeah.
insecurity. So the reason I started all this was not, it was wounded in some ways.
Yeah.
So through you, he helped me heal that, so that whatever I move forward with will be with him, and it would allow me to walk closer to him.
So
You know?
beautiful. Oh, I love it. Yes. Amen. I love it. Talina, share with women who are considering stepping into this work, who are maybe scared of stepping into it, who feel alone. And, I think one of the things that I run a lot into is like, I should just have it figured out. Like, I should have been able to figure it out myself. What would you say to those women?
I would say you're not supposed to do this alone. We were not created islands. We were not created to do anything alone. We were created to do things in community, in communion with people. And the thing is, like, we do need somebody to bounce back ideas with. We do need somebody to listen to us and to help us see, because sometimes we don't realize we have lenses on. Like, sometimes we don't realize where we're going wrong. And for the person in front of you, especially Carla, who's like very intuitive, and she sees things, like, you need somebody to call them out for you. Like, sometimes she sees it like so clearly. You see it so clearly, in some ways. And that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to help each other, and we're supposed to allow people to help us see. I think it's unnecessary to go at this alone,
Yes.
like just allow, God to help you through people. And yeah, you don't have to do this alone. Don't do this alone. You'll do it a lot, better.
Yeah.
Somebody's helping you.
So good. When you think back at your investment the past 2 years, what comes up for you?
I don't know. Like, I don't even think about the money. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think about the investment. It was, it was a journey that God took me through, and he provided.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I said quickly, like, yes, I want to do this. Like, I wasn't thinking about how much or how I was going to do this. I need to do this.
Yeah.
And I feel that we have to take a leap. If he's asking you on a journey, he will provide. He's not going to send you and leave you to die. He's going to provide. If you need this help, he will give it to you.
What would be your words of encouragement for those that are thinking about it, like are considering it, but are scared to commit?
Don't think twice. Just jump in. Go for it. You're not going to regret it. Like, it's going to give you so much more than you bargained for. Like, it will blow your mind. Like, the places it'll take you if you allow it.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, I think that's exactly one of the things that this makes me so happy hearing you say that, because I have had many of my clients actually live through the experience of hiring a coach and it not being the right fit, right? Investing into something that they were like, that they regret, that they're sad about, that they did not deliver what they said they would deliver, right? And I love what you just said, because this is exactly what I want to give you guys. It's like, okay, you're going to invest and I'm going to give you way more than your investment, right? It's just like, I'm here for you fully and I'm in it with you through thick and thin.
And then one more thing, like, regarding that, like, once you go into this with you, you're bringing God in too, So, and one thing I realized 2 years later was, it was never about the result. Like, it was never about the result. It was about the process. It was about who you needed to become, and how your capacity needed to grow, to become whatever it is you need to become. So it's not only working with you, Carla, it's like bringing God into it too.
100%.
So whatever happens, it'll be worth everything in the world.
Well, and I think that's exactly right. 100%. It is God at the center, God in the front, God right behind us and right next to us, just walking all the way. And I think that is why it's so transformational, right? It's just like we're allowing the Holy Spirit to take over. And one of my favorite things is every single session we're praying the same prayer to the Holy Spirit for God to be with us, for God to guide. So just watching your growth has been a beautiful journey for me too. And I'm just in awe of everything that you've been able to co-create with him, and just celebrating you, and so excited to see what's going to come next and what you're going to do next. So excited.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, but yeah.
We just have to allow it. We're being an example of what's possible with him. And like, it just gets to be fun because God's going to hold us. He's not going to let us fall. So it's fun. I'm excited. Go ahead and follow Talina. She's a beautiful coach. She serves, please share who you serve.
My page is in Spanish, so Spanish speaking women who have a project in their heart or whatever they feel God is calling to them.
Yes, go follow her. Share your Instagram handle.
It's in Spanish, so it's at Tu Coach Católica on Instagram.
Love it. Yes, go follow her. She's amazing. You are such a joy, such a gift in my life. If you guys get to watch this in a video form, you'll see my madly in love face every time she speaks. My face is just so like mesmerized by everything that you've been able to co-create, and I'm just so proud of you and so honored to be your coach. So I love you. Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for inviting me.
You betcha.
It's been a gift.